Looks like it's taking just a minute to start. There we go. Hello to everybody on the Webinar Jam and on Facebook. This is Danielle, and we're doing our Product Talk Tuesday, just 20 minutes. So it's kind of nice. It'll take a little break from your day. And honestly, how the brain learns is by little increments of knowledge that you can think about and apply during the week. And instead of just like a whole 5 hours of, knowledge or information, your brain learns better on little increments. So I like doing the Product Talk Tuesday for that reason. As you join me, please tell me who you are and where you're joining me from. I may not be able to respond to messages and all that while I'm live, but I will go back. And for those of you that are watching the recording, welcome. And please as well, tell me where you're joining me from so I can go back and say hello to you and like your comment. As we get started, please share this too. When you jump on, you can share this in your groups, whether you're watching live or recorded. Just share it into whatever, your timeline or your groups. We're going to talk and dive into emotional aromatherapy, which again is my forte. I've done this topic before and it's been a few months, so I decided to really talk about it and dive into it again. So I'm excited. A couple of things I just want to let you guys know is I get a lot of messages, just so you know, I feel bad I haven't been able to answer any of them. I get a lot of messages in different inboxes, email and all that kind of stuff. I haven't been able to get to them. I'm getting to them as fast as I can. I'm having my assistant help me. But the best way for me to respond is if you do a comment and make, if you want to ask a question about emotional wellness, just make it a compliant for the FDA. Like I can't talk about diagnoses, just FYI, but comment on my post. That's probably the best way and the quickest way to get a response with me, because my message inbox is so long and full, I'm not able to get to those. And also I don't know if you guys know, my psychoaromatherapy training, and it's a 4-week course that you can take. You can take it for only $14, and I got a ton of answers in there for you on essential oils and emotion and just natural, holistic emotional wellness, right, which is my forte. So if you have not joined that yet, please do. I'll give you the link if someone can type this in, and it is bit.ly, so www.bit.ly/psychoaromatherapy sign up. That's it. And you can get started for just $14 with the training. And if you haven't started with essential oils yet and you want to get started with me, there's actually a couple packages of essential oils on there that you can choose from so that you can go through the training with the essential oils that we're going to be talking about. So thank you, everybody. I can see you saying hello. Glad to have you on. And like I said, just go ahead and share this with your friends as you watch this, and tag some people in it so they can catch this that may want to get on here. Can somebody also, thank you so much, Rachel, for typing that in. So bit.ly/psychoaromatherapy sign up. I really appreciate that. And anybody who maybe is on a computer and want to be a commenter and type in some of the things that I'm going to talk about, it helps everybody else when you can visually see it, as well as it helps yourself when you're writing these things down to really stick in the brain. So if someone can be my commenter on both Webinar Jam and on Facebook, and that way we can all, benefit from learning from what you're writing and what I'm saying. Okay. So today I'm going to do breaking down my presentation on plant personality. That's what I call it. And I'm going to talk a lot. Let's see. Sorry. Okay. So I'm going to talk a lot about what plants can do for us and how to understand which plants to use. Sorry, I had to swipe a notification away. So as I get started with the emotional aromatherapy, I would love to hear, for those of you who already have the emotional aromatherapy oils, which one is your favorite right now? What's really cool is that because there are so many of them, there's 6 in this package, you can, different times in your life, there's different ones that really resonate with you or that you really need in your life. And so like for me right now, it's passion. I'm really loving passion. It just helps me feel excited and depth, and also with speaking. I love using passion for speaking. And so yeah, please type in your favorite one right now that you're pulling on, or maybe that you've used today. I love to hear what you guys are really getting benefits from. So with the emotional aromatherapy, inside of it comes with a wheel. And this wheel is excellent because it tells you, the different oils, where they come from and what they do for you or what emotions. So obviously if you want to feel passion, like I just talked about, then you would use the passion essential oil. And there's different emotions inside of here, like maybe bored or disinterested or discontented would be 3 emotions that you would want to pull on the passion essential oil. And then we've got forgive, console, peace, motivate, and cheer. So you can already see it's easy to know which ones to use for what. And I just realized I didn't put my microphone in, so hopefully you guys can hear me okay. So let's get started. I've got my notes here, so I make sure I stay on target in 20 minutes. So I'm going to tell you the simplest way. I like to break it down to know what to use, besides just looking at the wheel, which is really simple as well. But let's talk about the plant personality. So when you think of or look at citruses, and I've said this before, you guys hear this from me all the time, and it just makes it so easy. When you have citruses, what is their color? What does it do? What does it make you feel? What's the personality and characteristics of citruses? Describe the citrus to me. And that's what is so cool about it. So I'm going to just give you the hint here. Citruses are bright, right? They're vibrant. Okay, so citruses being bright and vibrant they cause a bright and vibrancy in you as well. That's what citruses are. There's bright yellow, bright orange, bright, the grapefruit color, grapefruit pink. And so these are going to help you feel bright and vibrant, motivated. Okay, that's what citruses are going to do. So anytime there's a mood that you just feel needs uplifted, like, Judy just said, yeah, absolutely. So cheer essential oil is an oil in here that is full of citruses. It has some other plants too. And there's also one called motivate. So motivate and cheer would be ones you could have a client use, or maybe your family use. If you're needing to just feel brighter and more vibrant and happier inside, these are your 2 really good ones. I like both of these. I don't know, cheer. I probably carry cheer around in my purse all the time. I just like the smell of it as a perfume. Before I really got into essential oils, I used to use a Clinique perfume that was called Happy, and it was citrus based, and now I can't handle the smell because it's synthetic. But now I use this cheer as my, my perfume base, and I love it. Okay, so that's your citruses, bright, vibrant, motivating. So that's what the colors do. That's the personality, and it does the same thing. And I'm not just making this up. This is from research. We see this in research. That's what they do. And that's what's really cool about the plant personality presentation that I'm giving you in 20 quick minutes here. So let's go on to flowers. So those of you who've heard this before, flowers, what are the personality of flowers? Very peaceful, right? Comforting. Their colors are generally like deep, and they're very, calming. Okay, so that's what your flowers are. What's another word? Soothing is another word. When you just look at flowers, they feel, yeah, Lainey said comfort. They feel soothing. And that's what flowers do, like rose. I mean, even lavender is technically herb, but also the flower on the lavender is where the essential oil comes from. And that is very calming and soothing. So your flower oils, I'm going to actually pull it from here. So the Emotional Aromatherapy package comes in these oils that you can use in a diffuser and on your skin. And it also comes with you can also buy them in roll-ons. So I like the roll-ons for the perfume reasons. So Console is a blend of different flowers. I see a lot of hearts going by. That means you guys really like Console, huh? So Console and Peace are 2 really good ones that are just going to give you that peaceful and that comforting and that soothing emotion that you need, or that maybe your client needs that you're working with. So some of the emotions on here, it says fearful, worried, hurt, grieving. And so that would be these 2 oils to use. Another way that I like to use the oils, besides just that, oh, here it is. It's on my wrist. So they have these little aromatherapy jewelry. And they've got necklaces. This is my wrist one, so it's a bracelet. So you can just pop it open, and there's lots of places that sell them, and it's a little felt thing. And so I like to do Console in here. So you just do, whoops, I keep dropping things. Do 1 drop of essential oil that you want to smell on you. So there's 1 drop of Console, and then I just shut the thing back. But anyway, there's lots of different ones. There's that you can wear. So you can just smell it any time that you need, or that's a really good idea for a client to have, so they can just sit and smell it and enjoy it. Okay, so that's your flowers. Let's talk about how to use your trees. What are the characteristics of trees? Go ahead and type in what you think and what you know about the characteristics of trees. They're very rooted, huh? Very grounded, very stable. So anytime you want to feel stable or grounded, maybe your thoughts are all over the place, you're going to want to use a tree type oil. And in here, there's a blend called Forgive that has trees in it. Console has trees in it as well. And there's another blend that I love called Balance, which is called a grounding blend. So again, anytime, maybe a child is just not able to focus and all over the place, that a grounding oil would be a really good one. So trees are going to cause grounding. So what's fun is that with the mixtures of these, you've got Console, which has trees that are grounded, but it also has flowers. So it's grounding and comforting. Can you see how great having the combination is? And then Forgive, we're going to go into the other parts of that next. So Forgive and also just herbs and grasses. This is a little harder. It kind of took me, I had to really think deep for the plant characteristics and personality. What do you find with herbs? Just describe an herb, first of all. The first word I came up with was savory. They give a lot more depth and meaning, right? So one example is potatoes, right? When you add rosemary to it, we don't even call them potatoes anymore. You call them rosemary potatoes because the rosemary just changes everything. So Rachel just said flavorful. Absolutely. So that I love about the herbs like rosemary and thyme and oregano. They're just flavorful. And what they can do is just add a lot more depth and meaning to your life. And I like that when I thought about that, and it's in the essential oil Forgive. What does forgiveness do? It really helps to add a deepening to your heart, to letting go. It's just such a great oil. It also is in herbs that are in passion. So again, just that flavorful and just adding passion back in your life. So these oils are really good for the emotions of anger, bitter, discontented, and bored. So you can see how these herbs are just savory, right? Just adding that flavor in your life that you need that is really deep. So that's what I thought of the herbs. So that helps, again, when you're just coming around to use these, a way to feel just more depth and more passion in your life. Okay, last one I guess I'll talk about. Well, there's also mints on here, and then I'll go to the last one. So mints were a little harder for me to figure out characteristic. And the one thing that I did, obviously mints are really good at focusing. So they're really good at just mental acuity, and I use a peppermint anytime I need to, drive at night, or if I need to study, peppermint. The mints are just going to, remember, they're going to help with honing in your thoughts and your mind and your brain. Really good for memory and those types of things. That's your mints. But last group that I want to go into that has a really good characteristic to them are your spices. So what are spices? What is the characteristic and the plant personality of spices? Super easy. They're spicy, right? They're fiery. So what do they do? And it's so interesting. What do they do, though, when you use a spice? When you use an essential oil that comes from a spice? They add fire and drive, motivation. You could even add passion, of course. It also, helps with blood circulation. Spices do, so you can just see it just warms everything up and it just gives you energy. So heat, I like how Jillian said heat. Yes, absolutely. Just gives you that warmth and that heat and that passion. There's also spices in the essential oil cheer. So you can see that the spices are going to be good if you have a client or a child or you're feeling just a little down, gloomy, somber, disinterested, distressed, it says. Your spices are going to be what helps, and also factoring in the uplifting the mood with the cheer oil, which has spices and citruses in it. So can you see how beneficial this little package can be with just knowing what the different plant personalities are and how you can use them for whatever mood. You don't have to know all the brain science, but what's really cool is as I've described these things, that is exactly what they do in your body with the chemistry that you study. Is they help you, again, feel spicy and fiery, passion, motivated and things like that, and cheer and forgiveness. So really great package to have. What's nice is it also comes with a diffuser, so you can put these with some water in a diffuser and just use that in your office or in your home, which I really like. Now, last thing I'm going to share with you, and what I'd like to ask you too is I would love for you to share any stories that you've had with using these oils. If you feel inclined, please write down what you've used and what's helped you. Because I know, I learned from all of your experiences too, but somebody that I work with, her name is Dr. Barbara Woods, and she's a psychologist in Canada and has just an amazing practice, and she helps people with different emotions and trauma and things like that. And she was working with a patient the other day, and she has her patients, what she does, this is a really good idea, is she has her patients, all of them, smell the different oils before their practice starts, before their session starts, and they just identify which oil they feel like they like at that moment, which one ever resonates with them, right? So she had several patients that have really resonated with passion, which I think is kind of fun. And she had a patient the other day that really resonated with passion, and he identified, yes, I like that one right now. So then they went into what is called exposure therapy to deal with the trauma. He was a first responder on a scene of an accident that really left some traumatic memories for near-death experience for the person he was helping. So as he was describing and just trying to process this traumatic event that had happened, it actually caused his body to go back into a traumatic experience. And like his mind thought he was there again, and he started shaking and just disassociated, like could not focus anymore on the session. And so she grabbed the passion essential oil and put it, a drop in his hand and had him smell it. And what happened was within 30 seconds, his body calmed down. And then what was cool is it caused a pattern interrupt, like I've talked to you guys about before. And the scent of it reminded him of when he was a child. And so his memories, it brought back a really good memory as a child, which interrupted the whole trauma experience. And then he was able to come out of that, calm down, and talk and process the trauma in a normal state rather than in the traumatic state. And so really cool. Sometimes I feel like we do not understand, how amazing and simple just using scents can be for our mental health and for our emotional wellness, and just sharing, what they do for you. So I'd love to hear your stories as we're ending here. And if I don't get to them, I will go back and look at them. So please write them down. But thank you again for joining me on the Product Talk Tuesday. And I am excited to see you guys all next week. Any questions you have, please type them in. I know Jennifer just said, wow, I know it's such an amazing story. Something so simple that you can just have your client smell something and help them process the anger, the trauma, or it doesn't matter what it is, just helping them process abuse. And it just helps them emotionally be able to deal with coping with their past and what's going on with them. And same with for us too. So everybody have a great rest of your day. We'll see you next week on the Product Talk Tuesday. Bye. You're welcome. Bye.